big bet, small bet, or no bet.
Okay.
Looking at a few of these plus money props on DraftKings right now. Starting with total quarterbacks drafted in the first round. The under 4.5 is still an even money price at DraftKings right now, but even out a little bit.
I would say small bet on the under. I'd go small. I just don't see Hooker. I know he says he's going to be healthy. Everybody tells me in the league he's going to miss this year. In fairness to the kid, he should miss this year because it's tough to come back from an ACL as late as he had it, especially with reps in the practice and all that. He needs a redshirt year. So I think, to me, I would be surprised if somebody tried to trade up in the top of the second to draft him. I would be surprised if somebody tried to trade up in the bottom of the first.
I bet under 4.5 at plus 185 here at Circa a couple days ago. So very hopeful that happens. You might have seen, though, Hendon Hooker yesterday posted on Twitter some video of him drop back passing, a big step in his progress trying to get back from the ACL injury. Okay, big bet, small bet, no bet. Total wide receivers in the first round under 3.5 is plus 140.
So mine, it really comes down to Jalen Hyatt, right? We feel like Smith-Ajobi, we feel like Addison and Flowers are going to go somewhere in the first, right? And so really it comes down to Jalen Hyatt. Does he go at the bottom of the first, or is he more of a top of the second? You know, on the board that I look at, he's a 1C. So that means there could be 4. But I think at the bottom of this first, there's so much uncertainty. Again, you're picking a second-round player. So it could be, that could be, you could take somebody down at that part of the draft that, somebody has graded in the third round.
Well, and there's the strength of the tight ends, too, that I wonder if that could dig into the wide receiver market a little bit as well. I don't hate the plus 140. So would you say small bet or no bet, but definitely not a big one?
I would say small bet.
Okay.
I think the tight end is a little bit harder to gauge because, yes, there are really good tight ends in this draft. Washington, the kid from Georgia, is a medical. It's a concern. Kincaid. That's a medical. That's a concern. So, you have a couple guys, and the Iowa kid's got a medical. So that's a concern. So you've got a lot of guys you're concerned about, and that becomes a problem.
Okay. For the number 2 overall pick right now, Will Anderson is the odds-on favorite at minus 350. When we spoke a moment ago, you said the report from John McClain, who you had talked to, Will Levis is going number 2. So does that mean Will Anderson is still going to be the first defensive player off the board? Or if not, big bet, small bet, no bet, Tyree Wilson to be the first defensive player drafted 3-1.
I would say small bet he is.
Okay.
Say small bet he is. Because, look, he's been cleared. He's tall. He's the prototypical end. He's exactly what you want. He's got a huge upside to him. He's only going to get better once he gets pro coaching. Now, he was invited to the Senior Bowl. He had moments, but he couldn't really go because of the foot injury. He's a good-looking player now. Now, is he going to be great this first year? Probably not, but he's got all the things you want in a pass rusher. Length, range, wingspan, first step quickness, all those things you see. Get off the ball. He's got that.
So I personally don't view Anthony Richardson as a top 8 selection. His prop number set at 7.5. I've been very clear about this. The over is minus 155. The under now.
I love how clear you get. Yeah.
I just don't. The under is plus 120, however, and you just said maybe there's potential to make history in this draft if things get wacky.
I'm going to stick to my guns and say I would small bet him to go over 8.
Okay.
I would. I'm with you on him.
Yes.
I don't know how we can sit there and say the guy needs to come back and play another year and then make him a top 5 pick.
Well, and the whole argument that you and Sean had the other day here on the program of you have to play him, but you can't play him.
You can't play him right away. We had Rick Venturi on from the Colts today, and he talked about the same thing. He said, but at some point during the season, like with Kenny Pickett, you're going to have to get him out there.
Yeah.
And if they tailor the offense around him, but that doesn't fit Minshew either now. Minshew's kind of, remember when they went to Minshew in Philly, they became more of a little bit of a passing team, not a six-back attack team.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it'll be good if Gardner Minshew and Will Levis aren't sharing a quarterback room. That's a lot of personality for one.
A lot of personality, yeah.
Okay, one last one here before we let you go. Dalton Kincaid. I guess I skipped over this one. First tight end selected, Dalton Kincaid. I know the medical is an issue. Plus 150 at BetMGM to be the first.
I would bet a little bit on this one not to be the first. I think the medical's got this guy. I think no.
Oh, bummer. So Michael Mayer is going to be the first guy?
I think so. I think the medical on Washington and Kincaid could keep him out of the first.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.